words that you've used in the book to describe her behavior over your lifetime was erratic, paranoid, spiraling. How do you see your sister's state of mind currently?
Hello kiddos, welcome back to my channel. My name is Edgar and I actually have another video planned for today, but considering what has been happening these last couple of weeks in the Spears family and all the things that we have heard and seen on social media, I think it was much more appropriate to just talk about that. As we know, Jammie Lynn Spears, Britney's little sister, has released this book called Think I Should Have Said, in which she's going to be talking about the conservatorship, her pregnancy, and a lot of other things that according to her has been hidden from the media and like she's been keeping to herself. Finally, she is ready to talk about all those things. Well, I have heard the book today and I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts that I want to share with you. Is it actually like worth buying this book? Well, I'm going to be telling you everything about it on today's video, so if you want to find out, just keep on watching. Let's start. Well, I think to start, like, the first thing that we have to know is what the whole book is about. The book goes around like mainly 3 events in her life. The first one being her cast for Zoe 101 and how she saw Britney rising as a pop icon. The second one being she's pregnant at 18. And the third one being Britney's breakdown. She goes through these 3 events during the 240 pages of the book. She goes like non-stop back and forth about these 3 events. I think that even if the tone of the book tries to be very personal, very casual, the only thing that actually does is to make it very childish and very, very poorly written. I'm not trying to go against Jammie Lynn Spears because I think everyone has the right to talk about anything in their own way and it's their truth and I respect that. But the thing is, like, to be honest, like, the book is not good. The whole book talks about events that we have heard of. It's nothing that you cannot get on the Wikipedia page of Jammie Lynn Spears, if you know what I mean. The reason why this book has been mentioned so much on social media in these last couple of days, it was because she made an interview with Good Morning America.
Songwriter and mother of 2, speaking out about the pressure she says came with the famous last name and her family's complicated dynamics in her new book, Things I Should Have Said.
She talks about Britney, referencing her as a girl with an erratic behavior and a mess. So Britney was really mad about this and she replied, "Jammie Lynn, congrats babe, you've stopped to a whole new level of low. So please stop with these crazy lies for the Hollywood books. Now and only now I do know only a scam person would make up such things about someone. I'm actually very confused about you making that up because it's honestly not like you at all. Congrats on introducing your old sister the concept of getting low, lower, lowest. Because you win on that one, babe.
It's Britney, bitch."
And Jammie Lynn replies saying, the book is not about you. Is the book about Britney? Well, the book is more focused on her, of course, because it's her biography, but at least 60% of the book is about Britney. All the events in her life are influenced by Britney and the things that Britney was going through. So in a way, in the whole book, she starts being the secondary character on her own story. Like, I think that we all come to this book trying to find out what she thinks about the conservatorship or like the way that she struggle with things in life. She said, "I've been silent for so many years and finally I want to talk and we are listening, but there's not actually many things." I think if she actually focused on what is the important things on the book, it would only be 20 pages, and that's a fact. The other chapters that actually have names like A Butterfly Get Her Wings. She talks about random things that happen in her life, then bring it like as a comparison to her pregnancy and immediately talking about like how Britney was in certain moments of her life. The first thing that she says about Britney is something that I actually want to read to you because I want to put it on quotes and not like change the words to my own. And she says, "Britney, who was having a difficult time as much as we wanted to all be together, it became increasingly obvious that something was out of whack in Britney's world. At first, I just assumed it was the fallout from her divorce and the maybe obsession with her. But my normal and sweet and free-spirited sister continued morph into something else, who was disturbed and paranoid at times. Sometimes she would lash out for no apparent reason or ignore me. And the whole concept of the conservatorship is treated in a very faraway perspective. if you know what I mean. I think that she considers that her family was truly helping Britney, that her dad was truly helping Britney, and everyone has good intentions. And basically, at that moment, she was pregnant and she was dealing with some other stuff. So she put herself on a side from whatever decisions were made to her sister. And the reason why this was controversial, it was Britney herself saying last year that this wasn't actually true. She said that Jammie Lynn came to her home while she was in the conservatorship and she was not even allowed to have a hairdresser or someone to do her nails. And Jammie came to her home really well dressed and like with all the hair done, and she was mocking at her for the situation that she was in. This was actually a piece of Britney's hearing. So that's the first point where the book is criticized. It says that a lot of the things that she talks about are not actually true. Even there's a point when she's talking about being bullied at school. And there was the English teacher actually that in these last couple of days came out and said that if she can say one thing about her, is that she was the bully. She said, and I quote, "I want Britney and the world to know she isn't the only one who is left with the scars from her early years and delinquency and manipulation." She said this talking about her dad and the way that his alcoholism actually influenced the way that they have been dealing with the family issues. And she said that the fact that her dad was taking care of the conservatorship was actually a way for her to feel released because she doesn't have to care about her sister or her father being sober. At that moment, she knew that everyone is going to be fine. And that's the other outcome that we can have from the book. Jammie Lynn, you're not a visionary girl. Because all the things that she's saying that she did for the best or she feels that it's going to be for the best are actually the things that end up being the worst. Like, for example, leaving her dad taking care of her sister was for the worst, or rejecting Twilight because she thought that, oh no, this movie is not going to be successful. Call her Oda Mae Brown because she has the visions.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
The book is 240 pages, but it feels like 200 of those pages were written before 2021, and just the last part of the book has been written after Britney spoke. You can notice that she's mad now. For 200 pages, it's been saying, Britney was my second mom, I really love her, I adore her. And for the last part of the book, in a chapter called My Testimony, is when she finally speaks about the conservatorship. And that is when she starts attacking Britney in a way that you have to assume like the responsibility of the things that you've done, so you have to take care of that, and I'm stepping back. The thing is, like, the whole family was involved in the conservatorship. The whole Spears family were living because of Britney. In recent years, and this past summer in particular, where my sister spoke to the world about her feelings regarding my parents' purposeful strategy to garner fame, Britney's impassioned statement included the wrongdoings of everyone involved, without any reference to herself. She says, "If I'm guilty of anything, it's of enabling the situation to continue by not speaking up earlier in her career."
Bullshit.
Did I enjoy the book? Not that much, actually. Like, I find it like it's very easy reading and very fast paced, so you go through it super quickly. Just, it seems like it didn't have an editor, so that's why it goes like all back and forth with the same events. After a few pages, you feel like it's repeating herself over and over about the same thing. And she uses metaphors that are not actually metaphors. You know, for example, like in a moment she's talking about that Britney was bonding with her cousin and she was feeling left on a side. But she didn't say I was left on a side. She was saying that she felt like Woody on Toy Story when Buzz Lightyear came.
Say what?
And also my other problem with the book is that it goes very sidetracked with a lot of subjects. Like, she starts talking about one thing and then she completely changed the subject, leaving the first thing that she was saying totally gone. To give an example of this, she says, and there was actually a fire in my home and we'll realize like how dangerous that was. And then she immediately switches the story and saying like, I remember the day when we went to buy the dogs. They were so nice and they were so protective with the family. And it was like, but you were talking about the fire. Like, what actually happened in the fire? Jammie Lynn, is everyone okay? I think that in the book, there's nothing you cannot find in another website, or maybe if you just go to Wikipedia and read about her, and then go and watch the interview that she made with Good Morning America, and that's kind of like what completes the Wikipedia page, and that'll be it. You don't need to buy this book. It's actually like was very bad and very boring. And also like what I found really funny is when she talks about her mom, saying my mama. So every time that I read mama, I couldn't help to think about
my baby girl leaving me so soon.
If I have to rate this book, I would only give it 2 stars. I think that the chapter where she talks about her kid and the near-to-death experience that Maddie has, her kid, and kind of goes in depth with her feelings way more than it does on the rest of the book. And to close this review, I wanna say like why is the reason of the name of the book. There are things I said to keep my family's name unsullied by gossip, and other things I should have said when I sensed something was amiss. I'm just now coming to terms with how my family philosophy of making everything appear fine and excusing Britney's behavior has led us to where we are today. If you have read the book or there's something that you highlighted on your book and you want to let me know something that I might have missed, please let it on the comment. I would love to read it. So please, before you go, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, give it a comment, and share it so the channel can grow. Have a great day, and again, thanks for watching.